No one in the house spoke when the sound echoed through the room. It was not a loud slap, but it was sharp. Clear. Painful. Ayan stood frozen near the doorway as he saw his mother stumble back. Her hand slowly rose to her cheek. Her eyes were wide, full of shock, not tears. Not yet. Across from her stood Uncle Rashid. His face was red with anger. His chest moved fast as if he was proud of what he had just done. "You don't know your place," Rashid said loudly. Ayan felt something break inside him. This was not the first time Rashid had shouted at his mother. He always talked down to her. He always acted like he owned the house, the money, and the family. But this time, he had crossed a line that could never be uncrossed. Ayan was only 22 years old. He was quiet by nature. He stayed away from fights. He believed respect was earned through patience. But as he looked at his mother standing there, silent and humiliated, patience left him. Still, he said nothing. Not yet. Rashid lived in the same house. It belonged to Ayan's late father. After his father died, Rashid slowly took control. He handled the money, the property papers, everything. He told everyone it was for the family, but in truth, he enjoyed the power. Ayan's mother, Farah, never argued. She cooked, cleaned, and stayed quiet. She believed silence kept peace. That slap proved she was wrong. Rashid walked past Ayan as if he did not exist. "Teach your mother some manners," he said coldly. Ayan clenched his fists, but he did not move. That night, Farah locked herself in her room. Ayan sat outside the door until morning. He did not sleep. Every second, the sound of that slap replayed in his mind. He remembered his father's words from years ago. Real strength is knowing when to stay quiet, and when to act. By morning, Ayan had decided something. He would not raise his hand. He would not shout. He would not rush. He would plan. Over the next few days, Rashid acted normal. He laughed. He ate loudly. He ordered people around. No one mentioned the slap. Not even Farah. But Ayan noticed things others did not. Rashid was worried. He checked his phone often. He locked his room more than before. He left the house at odd hours. And sometimes, when he thought no one was watching, his confidence faded. Ayan began paying attention. He learned that Rashid had debts. Big ones. Rashid had borrowed money using the house papers as security, without telling anyone. If things went wrong, Farah could lose her home. That slap was not just anger. It was fear. Ayan also discovered Rashid had enemies. People he had cheated in business. People waiting for him to fall. For the first time, Ayan smiled. Not because he was happy, but because he finally saw the weakness behind Rashid's power. One evening, Farah called Ayan into her room. Her cheek had healed, but her voice was softer than ever. "Don't fight him," she said. "I don't want more trouble." Ayan looked at her and nodded. "I won't fight," he said. That was not a lie. But it was not the full truth either. The next day, Rashid announced something shocking at dinner. "We're selling the house," he said casually. Farah dropped her spoon. Ayan felt his heart pound. "The market is good," Rashid continued. "We'll move somewhere smaller." Farah tried to speak, but no sound came out. Ayan slowly looked up and asked calmly, "Do we have a choice?" Rashid smiled. "I make the decisions." That night, Ayan made his first move. A quiet move. A legal move. A dangerous move. He visited an old friend of his father, a retired lawyer who still respected his father's name. Ayan told him everything. The slap. The papers. The debt. The lawyer listened carefully. Then he said something that made Ayan's blood run cold. If we act smart, the lawyer said, your uncle will lose everything. Ayan did not feel joy. He felt focus. Because revenge was no longer about anger. It was about justice. And this was only the beginning. Rashid noticed the change before anyone else did. It was small at first. A phone call that ended too quickly. A business partner who stopped replying. A bank message that made him read the same line again and again. Ayan noticed everything. He did not rush. He did not celebrate. He watched. Every morning, Rashid left the house with fake confidence. He wore clean clothes, sprayed strong perfume, and spoke loudly on the phone so others could hear. He wanted everyone to believe he was still in control. But behind closed doors, fear was growing. One afternoon, Rashid returned home early. His face was pale. He went straight to his room and locked the door. From outside, Ayan heard him pacing. Talking to himself. Sometimes shouting. Farah stayed quiet. She moved around the house like a shadow. She did not ask questions. She did not complain. But Ayan saw her hands shake when Rashid passed by. That made him more careful. The lawyer had warned Ayan. Powerful people fall hardest when they feel safe. So Ayan made Rashid feel safe. He spoke less. He avoided eye contact. He acted like a young man who knew his place. Rashid liked that. It made him careless. Behind the scenes, things were moving fast. The lawyer had found proof that Rashid used the house papers without permission. That alone could destroy him. But Ayan did not want just a legal win. He wanted Rashid to understand pain. The same pain his mother felt that day. One evening, Rashid called a family meeting. We have guests coming this weekend, Rashid announced. Important people. Farah looked confused. Guests. Investors, Rashid said proudly. They want to partner with me. Ayan stayed silent, but inside, he smiled. Because he knew the truth. Those investors were not partners. They were men Rashid owed money to. Dangerous men. Men who did not like excuses. Saturday came quickly. The house filled with tension. Rashid kept checking his watch. His phone rang many times. Each call made him more nervous. When the doorbell rang, Rashid jumped. 3 men walked in. They were calm, quiet, and serious. They did not smile. Farah offered tea with shaking hands. Rashid laughed loudly, trying to act normal. Ayan stood in the corner, watching. The men did not touch the tea. We need to talk, one of them said. They went into Rashid's room and closed the door. The house fell silent. Minutes passed. Then voices rose. Rashid's voice cracked. I just need more time, Rashid begged. Ayan's heart beat fast, but his face stayed calm. Suddenly, the door opened. The men walked out without looking at anyone. One of them stopped near Ayan. Smart house, the man said quietly. Shame if something happened to it. Then they left. Rashid collapsed onto the bed. That night, Rashid did not sleep. He searched through files, papers, old documents. He realized something terrible. The house was already gone. The lawyer had quietly placed a legal block. Rashid could not sell it. Could not use it. Could not touch it. The power he loved was slipping away. The next morning, Rashid's behavior changed. He spoke softly. He avoided Farah. He started being kind. Too kind. Farah, he said one day, I was stressed before. I didn't mean to be harsh. Farah looked at him but said nothing. Rashid then turned to Ayan. You're a good boy. You understand family. Ayan nodded. But Rashid could not escape his fear. A bank letter arrived. Then another. Then a final notice. Rashid's hands shook as he read it. His accounts were frozen. His assets under review. Someone had reported him. Rashid looked around the house like a trapped animal. That evening, he stood outside Farah's room. I made mistakes, he said quietly. We are family. We can fix this. Farah looked at Ayan. Ayan gently shook his head. Farah closed the door. That broke Rashid. He shouted. He cursed. He blamed everyone but himself. And then, something unexpected happened. Rashid began to suspect Ayan. He watched him closely. He asked questions. He tried to scare him. You think you're smart? Rashid said one night. Don't forget who you are. Ayan looked him in the eye for the first time. I know exactly who I am, he said calmly. That scared Rashid more than silence ever could. Because for the first time, Rashid realized something important. Ayan was no longer afraid. And the person who slapped a woman in anger was now afraid of a quiet young man. But Rashid was not done. Desperate people make dangerous choices. Rashid did not sleep that night. He sat on the edge of his bed, staring at the wall. Every sound in the house made him turn his head. Every shadow felt like a threat. The power he once enjoyed had turned into fear. And fear made him angry. In the morning, Rashid made a decision. If Ayan was the problem, then Ayan had to be removed. Rashid acted normal again. He smiled. He joked. He even cooked breakfast for the first time in years. Farah watched him carefully. Ayan did not touch the food. Later that day, Rashid called Ayan aside. Come with me, Rashid said. I need help with something. Ayan followed him outside the house. Rashid drove them to an old warehouse on the edge of the city. It was quiet. Empty. Isolated. Ayan understood immediately. This was not about business. Inside the warehouse, Rashid stopped the car and turned to Ayan. You think you're clever, Rashid said slowly. You think I don't see what you're doing. Ayan stayed calm. I don't know what you mean. Rashid laughed, but there was no humor in it. Don't lie to me. Things started going wrong when you got involved. Ayan said nothing. Rashid leaned closer. If you stop, I can forgive everything. If you don't, his voice dropped, I can make life very hard for you and your mother. That was the moment. The moment Ayan had waited for. He looked straight at Rashid. You already did. Rashid's face changed. He raised his hand, not to slap, but to threaten. Ayan did not move. That scared Rashid. They returned home in silence. That evening, Ayan made a phone call. The lawyer answered. It's time, Ayan said. The next few days were chaos. Police came to the house with documents. Officials asked questions. Papers were taken. Rashid's room was searched. Neighbors watched. Rashid shouted that it was all lies. That he was being framed. Farah stood behind Ayan, silent but strong. Then came the worst blow. Rashid was arrested for fraud. Handcuffs clicked shut in front of the house. Ayan watched calmly as Rashid was taken away. Rashid turned back once, his eyes full of hate. "This isn't over," Rashid shouted. But it was already too late. Inside the house, Farah finally cried. Not from fear, but from relief. Ayan held her for the first time in years. "I'm sorry," Farah whispered. "I should have spoken sooner." Ayan shook his head. "You protected me in your own way." Days passed. The house felt lighter. Quieter. Safer. But Ayan knew something was wrong. Rashid was dangerous. And dangerous men rarely fall quietly. One night, Ayan received a message from an unknown number. "You think you won. You don't know what's coming." Ayan showed the message to the lawyer. The lawyer frowned. "He still has contacts. We need to finish this properly." Ayan agreed. Then another message came. And another. Threats. Promises. Rage. Rashid had people on the outside. Then Farah disappeared. Ayan returned home to an empty house. Her phone was off. Her bag was gone. Panic hit him like fire. Ayan ran to the lawyer. "This is escalation," the lawyer said grimly. "He wants leverage." Ayan felt fear for the first time. Not for himself. For his mother. Ayan called every hospital. Every friend. No sign of her. Then his phone rang. Rashid's voice came through, cold and smiling. "You should have stayed quiet," Rashid said. "Now you will listen." Ayan closed his eyes. "Where is she?" he asked. "That depends," Rashid replied. "Come alone." Midnight. Old factory. The line went dead. Ayan stood still. This was no longer about revenge. It was about survival. But Rashid had made one mistake. He thought Ayan was still the same quiet boy. Midnight came quietly. The city slept, but Ayan did not. He stood outside the old factory, breathing slowly. The building was dark, broken, and silent. Rusted gates hung open like tired arms. This was the place Rashid had chosen. Ayan walked in alone. At least, that was what it looked like. Inside, the air smelled of oil and dust. His footsteps echoed on the concrete floor. A single light bulb hung from the ceiling, swinging gently. Farah sat tied to a chair. Her face was pale, but her eyes were strong. When she saw Ayan, her lips trembled. "Ayan," she whispered. "I'm here," he said calmly. Rashid stepped out of the shadows. He looked thinner. Older. His eyes were wild, but his smile was proud. "You came," Rashid said. "Good. I knew you would." Ayan stopped a few steps away. "Let her go." Rashid laughed. "Still giving orders? You've learned nothing." He walked closer to Farah and placed a hand on her shoulder. She flinched. Ayan's jaw tightened, but his voice stayed steady. "Touch her again, and this ends badly for you." Rashid's smile faded. "You think you still have power here?" Ayan looked around the factory. "No. I think you don't." Rashid froze for a second. Then sirens wailed in the distance. Rashid's face changed. "What did you do?" Ayan stepped forward. "The same thing you did," he said. "I planned." Floodlights turned on outside the factory. The building lit up. Shadows vanished. Police voices echoed. "This place is surrounded." Rashid backed away. Panic filled his eyes. "You said you came alone." Rashid shouted. "I did," Ayan replied. But the truth doesn't need backup. Justice does. The police rushed in. Rashid tried to run, but officers grabbed him. He screamed. He fought. But it was over. Farah was freed. As she stood up, she looked at Rashid. Her voice was calm, but strong. You slapped me because you thought I was weak, she said. You were wrong. Rashid was dragged away, shouting curses until his voice disappeared into the night. Outside, Farah held Ayan's hands tightly. You were brave, she said softly. Ayan shook his head. I was prepared. Weeks passed. Rashid faced serious charges: kidnapping, fraud, threats. His name spread through the family and the city. People who once feared him now avoided him. The house was safe. The lawyer smiled for the first time. He won't be coming back. Farah slowly began to heal. She laughed more. She slept peacefully. But Ayan knew something was missing. Closure. One day, Ayan received a request. Rashid wanted to see him. The lawyer warned him. You don't owe him anything. Ayan nodded. I know. But I owe myself. The prison was cold and quiet. Rashid sat behind the glass. No confidence. No pride. Just a broken man. Ayan picked up the phone. Rashid stared at him. You ruined me. Ayan answered calmly. You ruined yourself. Rashid's eyes filled with tears. I was angry. I lost control. Ayan leaned forward. You slapped my mother. That was your choice. Silence filled the room. Finally, Rashid whispered, What do you want? Ayan thought for a moment. I want you to remember this feeling, he said. Every day. Rashid looked down. Ayan stood up and walked away. He felt no joy. No anger. Only peace. But the story was not finished yet. Because the final lesson was not for Rashid. It was for everyone who thought silence meant weakness. The house felt different now. Sunlight entered every room. The walls no longer felt heavy. Farah woke up early each morning, made tea, and sat near the window. She smiled more. She spoke freely. For the first time in years, she felt safe inside her own home. Ayan watched her quietly. This was why he did everything. But Ayan knew something important: people forget quickly. Stories change. Truth gets hidden. And men like Rashid depend on silence. Ayan would not allow that. He did not want revenge anymore. He wanted a lesson. The lawyer helped him file a public complaint. Everything was written clearly: the fraud, the threats, the kidnapping, and the violence. The slap was included. Not as drama. As fact. The case became known in the community. Neighbors talked. Relatives whispered. Some were shocked. Some felt ashamed for staying quiet before. Farah was afraid at first. I don't want attention, she told Ayan. Ayan sat beside her. This is not about attention, he said gently. This is about truth. She nodded slowly. When the court date came, Farah walked in with her head high. Her hands did not shake. Rashid stood on the other side. He did not look at her. The judge listened. The lawyer spoke. Evidence was shown. Witnesses came forward, people Rashid had threatened, cheated, or scared. One by one, Rashid's lies collapsed. When Farah spoke, the room was silent. He slapped me, she said calmly. Not because I was wrong, but because he thought I was weak. Her voice did not break. The judge's decision was firm. Rashid was sentenced. As he was taken away, he looked once at Ayan. Not with hate. With regret. Outside the court, people gathered. Some apologized to Farah for not standing up before. Some thanked Ayan quietly. Ayan did not speak much. He did not need to. Weeks later, life moved forward. Ayan returned to his studies. He found work. He rebuilt his future piece by piece. Farah joined a small group that supported women in similar situations. She listened to their stories. She helped them find courage. The house became a place of warmth again. One evening, Farah placed her hand on Ayan's arm. "You didn't just protect me," she said. "You changed more than one life." Ayan smiled softly. "You taught me how." Farah shook her head. "No. You taught me that silence is not peace." They sat together as the sun set. Somewhere far away, Rashid sat alone in a cell. Powerless. Forgotten. Forced to live with the memory of his choices. That was his punishment. Not pain. Not anger. But truth. Ayan never spoke his uncle's name again. He did not need to. Because the lesson was clear. Backhand index pointing right, you can steal money. You can steal power. But the moment you touch someone's dignity, you lose everything. And this time, silence did not win.